If you are a keynote speaker, coach, consultant, expert, and you want more stages, more visibility, and higher fees, then this might be the most important video you watch this year. In today's episode, world-class speaker and author Shawn Kanungo reveals the exact playbook he uses to build his personal brand and get booked around the world.
That actually was the catalyst for me to not only get more speeches, but to get my ideas faster in the world. And I actually have the same playbook today.
Shawn speaks in over 100 cities a year, and he doesn't just deliver a keynote and go home. He records every talk, hires videographers in every city, turns those into social media moments, and publishes them online.
Every year, I get a videographer, an amazing videographer. I get them to tape and film the whole thing, and then we clip it up and we put it up on the internet. And it's about the ideas.
In this video, Shawn breaks down how to get speaking gigs, how to use video to build your brand, and why filming every keynote is the most underrated and underutilized strategy in the speaking business. This is the Brands on Brands podcast. Don't forget to hit like, hit subscribe, and let's jump in. All right, let's get going. I'm excited to bring you our guest today, Shawn Kanungo. First off, Shawn, thanks for being here, man.
Listen, I've been waiting to come on Brands, Brandon. It's been a lifelong goal, and here we are. We made it happen. So before we get into this entire thing, I just want to give you kudos to you. And you are a couple of hundred episodes deep. And rate, follow, subscribe, whatever you got to do with this man, because he is putting in the work.
Look at the personality on Shawn, the king of compliments. Coming in hot. I appreciate that, man. It's good to have energy. I mean, with the book called The Bold Ones, I would expect no less. What made you leave the corporate world and start to build your own thing?
Yeah. Well, it's actually the reason why I wrote the book, The Bold Ones. Part of the reason why I wrote the book, The Bold Ones, is because I saw this power shift happening from institutions to individuals. And really, it has to do with personal branding. It has to do with all the guests that you've had on this pod, and the whole ethos of this pod is that there's this massive shift happening to individuals where people are having way more power because of a big reason is through content. And by putting out content, putting out your ideas in the world, that is the greatest source of brand equity that you can start to build. And as I was in the firm doing the work when it came to innovation and putting my ideas out there, whether it was through articles or podcasts or video or getting on stage, what I realized is that I started to build this influence. I started to build this power within the firm. And I would be able to attract teams, clients, and talent wanting to work with me. And I thought to myself, I love the firm, and I love being there, and I love everything about it. But I realized that the power was shifting to me, and I thought to myself, what kind of damage could I make in the universe if I was completely on my own and I was able to do this not only economically, but just make a bigger impact in the world without having any approvals or anybody sort of in my way. And that was a thesis when I left. And it's proved to be true, where I can basically do whatever I want. And I've been able to gain influence and power by putting out my ideas in the world. And I just believe that it's crazy because you've dedicated your brand around this and discovering this idea of the importance of personal branding. But like, I still believe it's like an unkept secret that this is the most powerful asset that you can build, which is brand equity. And I realized that early on in 2017, 2018, when I left the firm, and to this day, you see this happening in every single industry, that the companies that are getting disrupted because many are getting disrupted by individuals because they built their own brand equity.
I want to jump back a little bit because it seems to me, and I don't know your story fully, but it seems to me that the
speaking was what you leaned into first when you went out on your own doing this. But tell me if that's true. When you said, I'm going to kind of start to build my own personal brand and potentially business beyond that, was speaking the first thing? And how did that go for you?
So I would say it's a combination of two. I think it's the speaking and the video, and I think they go hand in hand. I I knew sort of growing up, I love doing presentations. I love PowerPoints. I love being able to tell stories on stages, but I also love video. Like my friends and I started a creative film group, and literally when I started speaking, I realized that, listen, I'm putting all this effort in creating this speech. I should record it. So not only is this going to be relevant for the 400 people that are here, but like I could put this on the internet and then it could go places. I could put this out and maybe a couple 100,000 or maybe 1,000 or hundreds of thousands or maybe millions of people could watch this thing. So I always had that idea. So even when I started to do more keynotes or like I was a signature talk, no matter what room I was in, I would record it and then I would put it online, or I put a clip of it and I put it online. And that actually was the catalyst for me to not only get more speeches, but to get my ideas faster in the world. And I actually have the same playbook today. No matter what city I'm in 100 cities every year. I get a videographer, an amazing videographer. I get them to tape and film the whole thing. And then we clip it up and we put it up on the internet. And it's about the ideas, right? I'm here to put out the ideas. I'm here to give a unique take and put that out in the world. And I still have the same playbook today. And guess what? The cost of the video has always stayed the same. While at the beginning, I was like investing in this video. And now, because I'm making revenue from the speeches and through the content, like the cost of the video never changes, yet I'm getting paid more. So it always made sense to me. And there's something really magical and almost like a trick when you are presenting on a stage in front of human beings and telling a message. For some reason, that message is going to land a little bit deeper with folks that are watching that on their phone or if they're at home, as if in comparison to if I'm like sitting on this couch and I have an iPhone and I'm saying the same message. It just hits a little different. I can't tell you why. I can't tell you. It just does. So I just believe that creating high quality messages and pairing that with high quality video production, the message lands just a little bit deeper. And I've realized the power of that. And that's been the secret. And I give that secret to 100% of speakers. I'm putting this information out there right now. And yet not a single, like out of 1,000 people go off and they replicate that playbook. People don't want to replicate it. Don't tell me why, but I'm like, this is the playbook, yet they don't want to do it.
It makes no sense to me. I looked on your YouTube and I'm looking, it's 6 years ago. I went back. I to this day, you're doing about four videos a month, it looks like right now. And they are all from here all the way back. Most of the videos are you on stage somewhere across the world. And each video is cut down to a particular train of thought, which is what YouTube loves. And it's edited great and zooms in, zooms out, different perspectives. And it's a key point in the talk that you want to give. And then the thumbnail looks beautiful and it describes exactly what the point is that you're making. And you have a bunch of them.
YouTube is like the primary search tool when it comes to speakers and content. And so to me, it's not about the views, but it's about who's watching it. And that's why LinkedIn has been my primary, I would say for the longest time, it's been my primary social media platform, because the people that are watching on LinkedIn, they're all in my sort of, I'm talking about innovation disruption. That's a business audience. That's the video platform that I love the best, that I still spend the most time on, because that view is so valuable. And on YouTube, I just think that to me, it's like, to me, the YouTube, especially for a speaker, it's like the resume. The speaker reel is the cover, and people like sort of read the cover, they'll like skim the cover, but they really want to look at the resume. And what I'm trying to do with YouTube is de-risk it for a planner to be like, where has this guy spoken? Like, yeah, I see the reel. Everybody has a reel. They can fake that, they can cut it, they can edit it, whatever. Like, show me the truth. And the truth is on YouTube. And so if you can put together different clips from different stages around the world, like, you can't fake that. Like, you can't fake 300 videos in and be like, okay, what, like, you can't fake it. It's just, it's there, right? So if you're spending the amount of buying a car, you want to like look at, okay, how does this car perform in different environments? You can see that on YouTube, or you can see it on different places. You know, I think when people are looking for a particular speaker, they're not going to just look on Google or the bureau site. They're going to look on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, LinkedIn. They'll be like Insta. They're going to look at everything because they're buying a car. They want to know if this thing is good, if it runs. And the reason why I spend so much time to put in high quality production, to have multiple cameras, to make it look damn good, because I want to make sure when people see this, they're like, this looks expensive. I can't afford it. And guess what? It is expensive, and you probably can't afford it. And so that I can filter out 98% of the leads coming in, because I just, listen, I got 3 kids. I got lots going on, so I can't go everywhere. I just want to go to the places that I can add the most value, and that will honestly align with what my financial goals are and all that. So yeah, there's a strategy to it all. There is a strategy. You will not find a video on the internet other than like an IG story that is done on an iPhone or a shitty camera. It's all like, we're doing this podcast. I'm literally in a studio. I mean, this is our studio. This is my mic, my camera, because I wanted to show up here today so that this sounds good, so that the person that's watching this is like, I want to listen to this. This looks like it's going to be valuable, or it's going to, like, he just put in the effort to make this look and sound good.
Yeah, it's social proof. I think it's authority, and it's branding at the end of the day. And what I would say, I've looked at a lot of speakers' websites and their reels. I've looked at a lot of speakers' YouTube channels, and they are in misalignment. Like, they'll have the fanciest 7 minutes on their website, and then you go to the YouTube channel and there's not much there. There's like that one video plus a bunch of other stuff that actually discredits them, that doesn't make them look good. And everything on your YouTube channel looks great. And I will say this, the main channel video, which is a clip of you speaking, is over 400,000 views. And sure, there are speakers with higher watch counts and things like that, but there's not a lot of paid speakers that are very active right now that have YouTube videos that are watched that often, because I know what's happening. They're just not that interesting. They're just not as interesting or compelling as the ones that you've built. And unless you're an influencer, sure. But when you're a 4 million YouTube subscriber influencer, we're talking a different game entirely. But speaking is B2B. This is a B2B business. We only have so many meeting planners that even care to watch that video. The videos aren't that interesting except to a meeting planner, but yours are. And I think that speaks to like the thought you put into the branding and what you're building out there.
Well,
and I think a lot more people should be doing it.
You're absolutely right. You've analyzed this like better than anybody that I know. It's a B2B audience. And like, I'm going to be honest with you, like, not a single person is going to watch they're not going to watch a reel. They're not going to, nobody walking down the street is going to watch a reel, a speaker reel. They don't want to watch a speaker reel. That's not for them. That's for a planner. And actually, most of the videos that are on my channel, they're for a planner. If you really want like B2C content, go to my TikTok or go to like my Instagram. That's like more like B2C content. The content on YouTube is for a B2B audience, or it's not only for a planner, but it's for somebody that's a middle manager or leader and getting some ideas when it comes to innovation. Unfortunately, innovation is not a topic that Listen, you can watch Ted Lasso. You can watch sports. You can watch Stephen A. Smith. You're not going to watch. Very few people want to watch like an innovation or disruption talk. It's just not. I don't know. So I'm also trying. Like I think, and we could chat about this. Like I am going to deploy sort of a new strategy when it comes to YouTube and sort of change it up a little bit so that we can actually start to develop more of a YouTube audience, because I do see the value of developing a B2C audience, which I'm starting to do. That's why I dropped the book. That's why I dropped the special, because I really believe that I think it will be important to build a B2C strategy going forward. But right now it's been pretty much B2B.
Yeah. So when you were starting speaking and you were bringing this camera crew along, how did you do it? Were you paying them every time? Were these people, random people you were finding, were they friends of yours? So I think people are like, how do I actually do that? What is it really like?
Yeah. So let me tell you the playbook that I've been running for the last 7 years of my life. No matter what city I'm in, I go to Instagram and I type in hashtag San Diego videographer, hashtag Atlanta videographer, hashtag Victoria videographer, hashtag Orlando videographer. And then I message 10 people with the exact same message. Hey, my name is Shawn Kanungo. I'm looking for somebody to shoot my keynote with 2-3 cameras with a lav mic. Here's a location. Here's the date. Here's the time. What's your hourly rate? Thank you so much. I just need the shots. I don't need any edits. And then they come back with a message. I might jump on a call with them. They tell me their price. Maybe like 3 of them actually respond to the 10. I choose one of them. They come out and we record it. I get the footage afterwards. I send it up to somebody that's on staff in terms of a editor, and she edits it. She cuts it down, and then we put that out in the world. And that's been the playbook for the last 5-6 years. You don't have to find the best videographer in the world. You need a body that has a great camera. And guess what? There are a lot of wedding videographers, corporate videographers that are available during the week in the morning at 8:30, and they're like, yeah, I'll come out like for $500, for $600, $700. Like the range is usually like from I've seen things go from like $100 to $800 or $1,000, like it just to shoot. And that's usually the range. And I will pay based on what they've done before. And some people are really good and some people are not. And I've just learned that over time. And now I have a stable of videographers across North America, around the world, that I consistently go back to, and I refer to other speakers. But that's been the playbook. And I just need a body. I don't need like somebody to, I don't know. I don't need somebody to create a Nike commercial for me. I just need somebody to stand there with 2 or 3 cameras or with a gimbal and shoot this thing. It's not rocket science. So I've been doing that playbook for the last 6 or 7 years. And yeah, at the beginning, back in 2016 or 2015, yeah, I would pay $300 for a video, like for a videographer to come out. I'm like, man, that's a lot of money. And then I would do that 100 times over. I'm like, man, that was a lot of money. But then over time, as you get paid to speak and you get, just like like I said, the cost of the video never changes, but you get paid way more. And now, let's say you get paid $25,000 for a speech. The cost of the video never changes. And that particular video might get you another keynote, right? You put that video out in the world, and now tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people might see that video. One person might reach out and say, hey, I really love what you said about resilience, about grit, about mental health, or whatever. I would love for you to come to Sarasota, Florida, and do a keynote on that. So why wouldn't you make that trade? So, and
it's smart.
Yeah,
and
that's been the playbook.
Well, I think what's funny is when you go to the conference and you're the one speaker that has a photographer with you, the people see that. The people like listening see that, like the audience sees that, gives you more credibility. The conference runner sees that, and they see the quality of the footage you get afterwards as well. So there's little extra pieces that build the extra credibility. I went to a conference once. I wasn't even speaking. I was just attending, and I've got my buddy to come with me. And I was like, we'll do a photo shoot. Like I'll pay you for a photo shoot, like while we're there after hours, but come with me to the conference. And he's walking around getting pictures of me, shaking hands with people. And the speakers were coming to me and they were like, what do you do? Like, I want to know you. It was the best hack at the end. And I was just starting a show. So it was great, like relationship building, and I got great content from it. But then I'd go into other speakers' sessions. I'd get a couple of shots of them with my photographer, And I'd send it to them afterwards. I'd say, hey, saw your speech. It was great. Here's some professional photos. Or give me your email. I'd love to send you some professional photos that I got from my photographer. Oh, I'd love that. Thank you so much. By the way, I have a show. Like, I'd love you to come on the show. There's so much that you can do with these little steps and strategies to build your personal brand along the way.
You just hack the system in order to build relationships with these great speakers. I love that. Actually, you did the same for me. You took a couple of pics, and it's funny because like that thing that you came to, that was a concurrent session. I haven't done a concurrent session in like 4 or 5 years, and they didn't allow video in there. And I said, you know what, it's all good, and I'll just I'll do the talk, and I was excited to be there and be part of that community and do that. And yeah, you took a couple of pictures, and I really appreciated it. Like, and I just came, obviously I want to do this pod, not because you did the pictures, but you came up to me and you were so genuine, and I love the idea of brands on brands and personal branding. And I believe in the power of content. So that's why I came on. But I just really appreciate your level of authenticity and what you did. That was really, really cool. It reminded me of what like Jamie Foxx, when he was coming up and trying to build relationships with folks, like he would have this camera that he would use, and he would like go to all these parties, and he would take all these pictures, and then people around, really influential people like Puff Daddy and other folks would be like, hey, why don't you come to my party and take some pictures? And that's how we built his brand. So really, really, really cool.
I know our time's coming to an end today, but any final words of wisdom or parting thoughts before we close out today?
Yes, absolutely. My parting thoughts are rate, follow, subscribe to this pod, Brands on Brands, because he's putting in the work. You can see it already. So don't even follow me. Okay. Just follow this pod and just do whatever you can to share, rate, review, whatever you got to do. That's my only takeaway. Brands on Brands.